Okay, three, two, and action.
Okay, so how to make arroz guisado. I'm gonna write down on the screen the recipe, and that should be enough for like 4 people. But in case you need to do for more, then you have to do is just double the recipe or triple, depending on how many people you intend to serve. In my case, I'm doing for 15, so let's start with the ingredients. First, we start with some tocino, which is this right here. Then we are going to also use jamón de cocinar right here. We're also using pimiento morrón. I use this canned one and I do not throw away the liquid. I use the liquid in my recipe. I am also using pink beans, Goya, but you can use whatever brand you like. Next are the cubitos de pollo or chicken cubitos. Next comes the most important thing in an arroz guisado, and that is the sofrito. Now for this, what I do is I freeze the sofrito in an ice tray, and it's easier to use afterwards and to measure. So this is the sofrito. I'm also using some recao. Of course, I'm using rice, which is marca brand Rico. But of course, you can use whatever brand you prefer. And for the coloring and also seasoning of the rice, I'm using sazon with achote. That'll give it the nice flavor and color, most importantly, to the rice. Since I'm not using, notice, tomato sauce or tomato paste, I'm using sazon with achote. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, so first we start by heating the pot, and then normally I would add some oil to this, but since I am using tocino and tocino releases some fat, you won't be needing any oil, a little oil that is. But if you weren't using tocino, yes, I suggest a little bit of oil to saute the jamón de cocinar. Okay, so we put in the tocino, give it a nice stir so it'll cook evenly. And I'm doing this over medium-high heat, and we want to leave it uncovered in order for it to get golden brown crispy. So this should take like about 5 minutes. Okay, so here we are. As you can see, the tocino has reached its crispy goldenness, brown gold color. So that means they're done. And also you see that it has released the fat that we were talking about. Okay. Let's throw in the ham now, the jamón de cocinar, and give it a nice stir. And this you do want to cover up over medium heat, so that way the ham will release the juices. You want the juices to release and not to dry up, so that's why you lower the heat and you cover it up. So that's what we're gonna do right now. So we are ready to add the rest of the ingredients. So let's add the sofrito. Then we can add the cubitos de pollo, chicken cubitos, the pimiento morrón, and we can add a little bit of the liquid. Throw in your recao. Okay, so throw in the sazon with achote. Like I mentioned, I don't use tomato sauce or tomato paste. That's why I use sazon with achote to give it that nice color. I do use the little tomato sauce that are in the beans. That I use. Okay, so now we give it a nice stir. We proceed to cover it up and let these ingredients simmer for a while and release the flavors before adding the rest of the ingredients. Right, so let's see how this looks. Okay, so now we are ready to add the beans. Once you add the beans, give it a nice stir again. And again, we'll leave it like a few minutes simmering. Okay, so now this is also the part where you want to add some salt to this mixture before adding the rice. And the secret to this is that you want it to be salty, real salty. Yes, trust me. You must add a little extra salt to this mixture, because once you add the rice and the rice grows, it'll have the perfect taste. Okay, so once we taste and see that the mixture is nice and salty, we proceed to add the rice and stir everything up. This makes everything very good before adding the water. Okay, so now we proceed to add the water. And here we don't want to use or to add too much water, obviously, that will ruin the rice. But if you add too little, that's okay. At the end, you can add a little bit of more water and the rice will cook fine in its own steam. So my technique to know how much water we need to use is that I use my finger. You dip it into the water until the tip of your finger touches the rice, and the water should reach the line. This line you have in your finger, that first line, yes, that water should reach that line, and that's enough water. And it works for everything. Arroz, white rice, there's arroz guisado, whatever quantity you're making, it works. That's the way I do it. Okay, so I'm going to proceed to add more water as I see that it needs more. And then we raise the heat a little bit, medium high, and then we wait until the water evaporates. Okay, so now the water, as you can see, has evaporated. So this is the time when we give it a nice stir and flatten it up a little bit. This I like to do. And this is optional. If you have access to banana tree leaves, then you can use clean ones. Rinse them up first, please, and then add some banana tree leaves. And this is like, I think it's a very Puerto Rican thing to do. It'll give it a nice flavor as well. But again, this is optional. If you do not find banana tree leaves, it's fine. It'll taste good without them anyway, so it's just a little touch. Okay, so we cover it up, lower the heat to low, very low heat, and we'll leave this approximately 20 to 25, maybe 30 minutes, and then the rice should be done. Okay, so now 30 minutes have passed. Let's see how we did. Oh yes, here we go. Nice. Stir it up a little bit, fluff it up, And as you can see, the rice is done. Do a taste check in case you need to add a little bit more salt, but if you follow the recipe carefully, you should not need any more salt than what was already used. So last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna garnish the rice a little bit with some extra pimiento morrón that I have, just like this. Cover it up again with the banana leaves, and that's it. This is how to make arroz guisado. I hope you enjoyed the video, and buen provecho.
Okay, that's a wrap.